We've learned this morning that the White House plans to meet with Secret Service and the Department of Homeland Security early this week to review security measures around high-profile events where the president is in attendance. This on the heels of that shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday night. In an interview with CBS News on Sunday, President Trump said he wasn't worried as shots rang out.
I wasn't worried. I understand life. We live in a crazy world.
President Donald Trump, in an interview that aired on CBS 60 Minutes Sunday, insisted that the White House Correspondents' Dinner be rescheduled after gunshots outside the ballroom prompted chaos Saturday night.
We should do it within 30 days, and they'll have even more security, and they'll have bigger perimeter security. It'll be fine.
Law enforcement officials on both sides of the country spent Sunday digging into the life and possible motives of 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen. The California teacher has been identified by authorities as the alleged gunman who charged a security checkpoint outside the Washington ballroom where the president, vice president, cabinet members, and congressional leaders were in attendance.
Had an explosive device gone off, you would have knocked out the president, vice president, speaker, the three in line of succession.
In writing shared with family just prior to the shooting, the suspect described himself as, quote, the friendly federal assassin, a source said.
This is moving these types of individuals from intent to action. And that new threat vector is very concerning to the FBI, the Secret Service, and anybody who engages in, protective responsibilities.
Allen's family notified police of his writings, the White House said, just minutes before the incident took place. And we will likely learn more about what the investigation has yielded so far, as the suspect is expected to be arraigned in federal court today. Right now, he's facing charges of using a firearm during a crime of violence and assault on a federal officer using a dangerous weapon, although it's expected additional charges could be filed.
Colombia vivió el peor ataque desde la firma del acuerdo de paz con la guerrilla de las FARC hace casi una década. Las fuerzas militares del país atribuyen el atentado a disidencias de las FARC que arrojaron un cilindro lleno de explosivos que cayó sobre un autobús en un punto de la importante carretera panamericana en el departamento del Cauca, dejando al menos casi 20 muertos y decenas de heridos, todos civiles según las autoridades. El Cauca, al suroeste de Colombia, tiene una posición estratégica para el traslado de la cocaína desde las montañas hacia el Océano Pacífico.
President Trump clearly enjoying the pomp and ceremony of hosting King Charles and Queen Camilla at the White House this morning, staying on script in his remarks, talking about the strength of American and British ties and making no allusion to recent tensions between the two countries. Day two, a busy one for King Charles and Queen Camilla. King Charles coming to Capitol Hill to deliver an address to a joint meeting of Congress, and the King and Queen attending a state dinner at the White House. Pomp, circumstance, and royal diplomacy in the nation's capital Tuesday.
In the centuries since we won our independence, Americans have had no closer friends than the British.
King Charles and Queen Camilla wasted no time after their arrival in Washington Monday, making their way to the White House for a greeting by the President and First Lady, followed by a garden party at the British ambassador's residence. After conversations between the White House and Buckingham Palace, the whirlwind four-day visit is expected to go off largely as it was planned before Saturday night's shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
The White House will continue to engage with DHS and with Secret Service to find ways to improve and strengthen security.
Beyond the security dynamics, the royal visit, planned to commemorate the 250th anniversary of United States independence, comes as the Iran conflict and President Donald Trump's criticism of the UK for not offering more vocal support strain a long-standing special relationship between the two countries that in the past has transcended the U.S. presidency.
The whole vision is that at the end of it, there will be greater understanding between the US and the UK. And because US relations are so important to everyone in the UK, and the King sees it as incredibly important.
In an interview with the BBC last week, President Trump signaled a positive tone when asked whether the visit by King Charles could help fix the US-UK relationship. The president's response, absolutely yes. And President Trump, sources say, has been very engaged in the planning for this state visit, in particular the state dinner that is set to take place tonight, weighing in on the guest list and also on the menu. King Charles' speech to Congress expected to also talk about those strong American and British ties, really highlighting what he's going to describe, a royal source says, as the reconciliation and renewal that has taken place, ebbed and flowed over the last 250 years.